Some of us didn't learn love, we guessed at it, like children squinting through fog, trying to trace the shape of something they've only ever heard about in books or seen in someone else's life. We mimicked what looked like care. We stitched together fragments of warmth from television shows and classroom interactions, hoping we were getting it right, hoping that if we smiled the way they smiled or hugged the way they hugged, we might unlock whatever secret language other people seemed to know instinctively. But we were only guessing, because love was never something we were taught. It was something we watched from behind the glass. I didn't grow up learning that love meant safety, or softness, or staying. I grew up thinking love was conditional, a deal, an exchange, a performance. I thought love meant being quiet when I was hurting, or useful when I was tired, or invisible when I was scared. I thought love meant trying harder, being better, apologizing for things I didn't do just to keep someone from leaving. Love, in my world, was not a cradle. It was a test I never knew how to pass. There were no bedtime kisses or morning pancakes, no nicknames that made me feel cherished, just silence and obligation, the unspoken expectation that I wouldn't ask for too much, that I'd make myself small enough to fit into the lives of people who never really made space for me. The house has changed, the face has changed, but the guessing stayed, always wondering, is this what love looks like, feels like, sounds like? Because no one ever sat down and showed me. No one ever said, this is how you hold someone without hurting them. I watched kids scream, I hate you, at their parents and still get tucked in that night. I watched them roll their eyes and slam doors, and somehow still be forgiven. Me. I flinched at the idea of needing anything at all, because needing was dangerous. Needing meant disappointment, and love that's withheld enough times becomes something you stop reaching for altogether. You convince yourself you're better off without it. That love is a luxury, not a right, and you keep guessing. In middle school, I remember a classmate hugging me out of nowhere. I stiffened, didn't know what to do with my hands, didn't know how to receive touch without bracing for it to disappear or turn sharp. She said, "You look like you needed a hug." And I remember wanting to cry, not because of the hug, but because I hadn't realized how badly I wanted one. It felt like a foreign currency, something valuable but not meant for me. And then came the years where I started giving love like it was currency I could never keep, pouring it into people who only knew how to take, offering loyalty to those who hadn't earned it, trying to earn my way into hearts that were already closed. I didn't know how to love in a way that didn't involve overextending, over-apologizing, over-explaining. I didn't know how to receive love that wasn't laced with conditions. Every time someone said, "I care about you," I heard a silent clause at the end, "for now." Because when love is guessed, it becomes a pattern, a survival tactic. You build it from scraps and half memories, hoping one day it will feel whole. But guess love isn't rooted, it shifts with the wind. It changes depending on who's in the room. You become a chameleon of affection, shape-shifting into whatever version of yourself might be loved that day. And somewhere along the line, you forget who you are underneath all the guessing. I've given love like a question mark, like an apology, like a peace offering to people who didn't know how to hold fragile things. And I've accepted love like a hand-me-down, grateful for whatever scraps I got, even if they didn't fit. Because something always felt better than nothing. Until it didn't. Because one day, you wake up and realize you're tired. Tired of performing, tired of proving, tired of molding yourself to be lovable instead of being loved as you are. You start noticing the difference between affection and attachment, between attention and care, between someone needing you and someone choosing you. And that's when the guessing starts to unravel. I remember the first time someone loved me without making me feel like I owed them. It was terrifying. I kept waiting for the catch, the condition, the correction. I couldn't believe that love could be quiet and consistent, that it could just be. It took everything in me not to sabotage it. Not because I didn't want it, but because it felt so unfamiliar. I mistook it for danger. That's what trauma does. It flips the map. It makes you run from safe places and cling to the ones that hurt. And healing is learning the map again. It's tracing new routes through the heart. It's unlearning what the silence taught you about your worth. It's realizing that love doesn't have to be guessed. It can be known, felt, built. It can be taught again, even if it never was in the beginning. I started small, holding my own hand when the nights got heavy, leaving sticky notes on mirrors that said you're doing okay, setting boundaries. Even when my voice shook, I started talking to that younger version of myself, the one who thought she had to earn everything. I told her, you never did. I learned that love isn't loud. It isn't perfect. It doesn't always come with fireworks or grand declarations. Sometimes love is someone remembering your favorite song, or showing up when they said they would, or listening without trying to fix you. Sometimes love is just consistency, the kind that doesn't flinch when you get messy, the kind that says, I see you, I'm still here. And I started learning how to give love in a way that didn't deplete me. I stopped trying to be everything to everyone. I stopped offering parts of myself just to be kept. I stopped choosing people who made me feel hard to love, because love isn't supposed to feel like guesswork. It's supposed to feel like a place you can exhale, a place where your edges don't scare anyone away. To those of us who were never taught love, we became the architects of our own hearts. We sketched out blueprints from pain and hope. We built foundations from questions and trial and error. We made mistakes. We loved the wrong people. We betrayed our own needs just to keep company. But still we kept building. And now we are unlearning, rewriting, reparenting. We are speaking kindly to the parts of ourselves that only knew performance. We are choosing love that feels like truth, not theater. We are learning that it's okay to be held, that we don't have to flinch, that we don't have to guess anymore. To anyone who feels like they're still guessing, still unsure what love is supposed to feel like, I want you to know, it's not supposed to hurt. It's not supposed to make you smaller. Love doesn't hide. It doesn't manipulate. It doesn't punish you for having needs. Love sees you in the light and in the dark and stays anyway. You are worthy of that kind of love, even if you've never seen it, even if you've only ever dreamed of it. You are worthy, not because you've earned it, but because you exist, because you breathe, because you've survived things you never should have had to survive, and you still show up with an open heart. You're not broken. You're not unlovable. You're just learning a language you were never taught, and that takes time. That takes grace. That takes the kind of courage most people will never understand. But you're doing it every time. You choose to stay soft, every time you reach instead of retreat, every time you speak truth into spaces that once silenced you. You are the proof that love doesn't need a perfect past to have a powerful future. You are the living, breathing evidence that love can be rewritten, that love can be healed, that love, real love, can begin with you. So if no one told you, today, I will. You don't have to guess anymore. You are loved, you are lovable, and you are learning beautifully, bravely what it means to be whole.